All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock. What is your name and your podcast show?
Hello, everybody. I'm Leticia Latino, host of Back to Basics, Reconnecting to the Essence of You.
Ah, to the essence of you. Now, if you have one piece of guidance or advice for other podcast shows out there, what would you share with them?
Well, it's all about just doing it and being consistent and never forgetting that the content that you put out in the world, that's really what you're bringing to the world, the value. Never stop doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, your show is Reconnecting to the Essence of You. What does that mean? And how did you come up with that theme for you?
Well, I'm a firm believer that, every story is an inspiring story, and I'm passionate about finding out what makes people tick. So the show is really what makes my guest tick, and it's incredible to hear. I mean, I'm over 200 episodes now published, and just the answers that you get, they are unbelievable.
Out of all the 200 episodes, there's probably a common theme that you hear amongst people about what makes them tick, what motivates them, what drives people. What are some common themes you found across those 200 episodes?
Well, curiosity, it's one that keeps coming up and it's not surprising. It's almost common sense, but then you hear it over and over, like being curious about things, learning about new things, just really wanting to understand, the person you're talking to. That keeps coming up over and connection, human connection.
Yeah, curiosity and connection seems to be a common thing amongst those who are achieving in life. Out of all the episodes you've done, what is one that really stands out in your heart and your brain where you feel like instead of being the podcast host, you feel like you are learning and growing and you're like, wow, I want to spend more and more time with this person?
Well, I'm a big Seth Godin fan, and the reason why I have a podcast is because I enroll in one of his courses because I am curious and I want to learn. And so I say, you know what, I'm just going to go and get a podcast. The worst that can happen is I'm going to have one episode at the end of this 1 month with Seth Godin course. And so, for my 100th episode, I put the intention out in the world, and I pretty much manifesting having him on my show. So he's my 100th guest. And so it was a big full circle for me just to have him on the show and learning from everything he had to say what makes him tick.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I remember sending him emails when I was building my fitness company back in the day, and he would respond to my emails, and he was so kind. And yeah, I'm a huge follower of Seth. Now, having a conversation with him, what was the thing that surprised you most about your conversation with Seth?
How natural it was. I felt like I was talking to an old friend just because I'm a big, fan, as I said. And it's just what you said. The thing that has been surprising for me in my podcast is people I thought would never say yes have been the easiest yes. And that's probably because the humanity in those people is just there. Like there's authentic people out there, even if they're celebrity or they're famous, and they just really want to help others. And then the surprising thing is others who you really probably thought it was going to be an easy yes, and they play hard to get. So
Yeah.
it's been just fun.
So, if you have a few pieces of advice on how to get a big name on your podcast show, like we're going after some big names together, what's some things that you've learned on how to attract a big celebrity or name?
Well, definitely being authentic and coming from a place from the heart, but also showing value. Like, why do you deserve to have this person on your show? It's just not because you just have a podcast. To me, that's not enough. It's I have a podcast and I'm interested in this, and maybe do some research on them and really try to see when you intersect, like your values, your vision intersect with theirs, and just make an authentic ask.
Yeah, that is so true. And a lot of times, like, we'll look into these people's lives and we're like, oh, they won't answer me. They won't respond here. They probably get thousands of messages. And a lot of times they get ignored. Once you get to a certain point,
Absolutely.
you get ignored. Oh, man, I love this conversation. This is so great. Where can people go to find your podcast show?
Well, it streams on all the platforms, so look for Back to Basics, Reconnecting to the Essence of You, or also check out my webpage, www.leticialatino.com. I'm sure you will have it on your show notes as well.
I'll have it all in the show notes. Thank you for coming on, everybody. We'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.